So here's Disinformation after the Norwalk event. And things held together fairly well structurally. There's a few things I'm going to have to address for down the road. And I do plan on continuing this robot. I'm having fun with some of the design aspects here. So we'll see a revamped version down the road. One of the issues I had this time was in every match, the chain got cut. So the chain is kind of sticking out there, right? Well, if you look at it from the side, any side angle hits are going to catch it. And yeah, I don't know if we just got lucky in the first few events that it didn't happen, or if we just got incredibly unlucky this time around. But the chain got cut off in every match. And so I'm going to have to find some way to protect this a little better. So one of the suggestions, Johnny on the team was thinking, well, maybe instead of, I had this out further and that would have protected it more, but then you kind of cuts off some of the reach on the weapon. So you need the weapon to be able to stick out further. So I may follow the arc of the weapon on around and just make this front section blockier and kind of protect it a little bit. I'll have to think out something there. I'm not sure what that something is. The rest of the robot itself held up pretty good. These were some big major hits all the way around. This UHMW really can take a pretty hard hit. Clips up into the titanium and just toss the robot around. Everything still stayed together and complete. And these are several full-on weapon hits on that AR piece across the back and didn't do anything more than scratch the paint. So structurally, robot held together pretty well. Got a few little chew marks here and there, but nothing that structurally hurt the robot at all. So my biggest issue then is just going to be trying to address some reliability issues, and I think this robot still stands a chance of doing pretty well down the road. So let's go ahead and take it apart and see what everything looks like inside. So what went right and what went wrong here? The mount system for these drive wheels, this worked really well. These are made out of TPU. It's kind of a flexible printed material. And we had no issues with drive motors or gearboxes breaking. That worked really well. Speed controllers for drive worked really good, so I'll probably continue to use those. I like this setup. That was really super dependable. I did not like the traction. And in fact, if you look at the two tires, you can see that this one was spinning, whereas this one wasn't. Well, what's happening is the robot is kind of twisting a little bit, and I'm not getting even amounts of weight on the tires. So the tires themselves, I need to find some way to have a little more give to that arrangement so that it equalizes traction better than what it's doing. So all these are very lightweight. I like the fact that I'm using them because of that. I'm going to have to make some changes there. And I've got some ideas that will work specifically for Norwalk. So they use a wood floor. A lot of guys will use kind of a small type of saw as a wheel, so it'll dig into the wood. And I'll probably do something similar down the road for that. So that's probably my only big change for drive, is I'll probably use some kind of different wheels. The weapon motor's got a lot of power. I really have no problem with that. But I did nothing but fight with the speed controller the entire time. Could not get things to work the way I wanted to. So even though the speed controller's, the big guy has plenty of amperage for this, I never did get anything there that was super dependable. And in fact, in some of the matches, you can watch it kind of struggling a little to spin up. Once it spun up, then everything was fine. But that initial programming on the speed controller turned into kind of a problem. So that's definitely going to change down the road. A couple other things I may end up doing. There's a little bit of gap in here. I can probably compact things. There's some dead space in here that could be used better than it is right now. So there's actually quite a bit of dead space. So I'm going to try to see if I can compact this a little bit. And where the drum is sitting in there, there's about an inch gap between the teeth and this. So the whole drum system can actually move back in the way the robot is designed. And that weight moving closer to the tires will also help with traction. So lots of things to work on for down the road, but there's a lot of things here that did work really well. The UHNW structure held up really well. I mean, these are some big hits right here, and everything is still held together just fine. So my intention is to use this construction technique going down the road. This will happen again, but I'm going to make it new because there's some things I want to move around. So this weapon assembly has worked through 4 events now. It's starting to definitely see some wear and tear, so I'll probably keep this one as a backup, but then make new for down the road. But I think the idea of using the bolts as teeth and whatnot is holding up fairly well. So I've got a little bit of, there's probably not a whole lot I would do differently as far as the design goes here. This was the right way to get the weight out of this. It's very strong, puts out a big hit. So these bearings are kind of unique. So it's a roller bearing. It's big, heavy roller, so it can take a lot of load. And they're designed to take thrust in one direction. So the way I have this set up in here is I've got just a little spring washer in there to kind of keep everything lined up straight, but it also provides just a little bit of flex to the system and kind of preloads those bearings. These bearings are rated for like 20,000 RPM, which is what I needed for this drum because I'm spinning it really fast, 16,000 RPM. So they're kind of pricey little guys, but they work really well. The only real issue is it is still just an open bearing, so it gets crud in there. So you got to kind of clean them up relatively. Like I can feel a little bit of crud in there right now. But they do work really well. This has been a pretty dependable system all the way around for the weapon. So overall, I was pretty happy with a lot of pieces to this, and fairly unhappy with a few pieces that are going to need to be worked on down the road. And a hunk of that is trying to decide exactly where this robot is going to be used next. So the design choices I would make for Norwalk are different than the design choices I would make for Brazil. And I had a good time in Brazil. I'd like to go back. So anything I do that puts it as something I can use in both places ends up being a compromise for each place and not necessarily as competitive as I can make it. So I gotta wrap my head around what I'm going to do there. The basic design of running the big aluminum drum with the bolts as teeth I think is good. Figure out some of the electronic issues so I can spin it reliably at the speed I want to spin. That would definitely win some matches. Try to figure out some way to protect the chain better than I have would be a big help. But Brazil runs exactly at 30 pounds. There's no bonuses for multi-bots or any of that like there is at Norwalk. But in order to win at Norwalk, you have to take advantage of their unique rule set. So I got to come to terms with exactly how I'm going to go about doing that. And the right answer is probably build 2 versions, one for Norwalk, one for Brazil. In all my spare time. Overall, though, I think I was pretty happy with a lot of the pieces to this, and there's definitely some further work to this that could make it better. I'd really like to go back to Norwalk and make it to the top of the pile. I think that would be a good thing. So that's probably its main focus at this point in time. So keep an eye out. We've got more coming, and as soon as I start diving in for the rebuild on this, I'm going to try to document that whole build a little better than I did this time around so that you have all the pieces all the way.